Hello guys, Antoine here for Simarchitecture and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm here finally for my big neogothic mansion. I've been teasing you for a long time on Twitter and in the community section of the channel, and I'm finally here with this build. It's finally ready. So this house is inspired by a real house located in the United States in the state of New York. It is called Lyndhurst Mansion, and it was built in the 19th century in a very beautiful neo-Gothic style, which I really enjoy. I'm actually not a big fan of Gothic architecture, but I love neo-Gothic architecture. It's strange. Actually, neo-Gothic architecture is like how the people in the 19th century envisioned Middle Age, and I just love it. It just looks like a fairy tale or something. And one of my other inspiration for this build was also the Palace of Versailles, and you're probably wondering like, what? This is not a neo-Gothic palace or anything. But you're wrong, because there are some rooms that are decorated in a neo-Gothic style. And yeah, I just love the atmosphere of these rooms, and it was also a source of inspiration. But the most the biggest source of inspiration was this mansion in the United States, which I've never seen myself because I've never been to the United States yet. But I saw a lot of picture only from the front side of the house. I didn't really know what the other side looked like, so this is totally invented, but the front side is very similar to the real house, I would say. So as always, this is not a very accurate copy of the real house. This is just a free interpretation, and yes, I have to say it was a lot of fun, and I used for the first time the new elements created by Felixander, which are those neo-Gothic elements. So we have columns, we have fences, we have many ornaments that you can put on the roof, on the walls. And it's just wonderful because it just gives more possibilities in terms of gaming. And even if you want to build something not especially neo-Gothic, but a building that has some different elements than Rococo or Baroque, you can use them, and it just gives a very cool effect to a build. So this house is very big, and it took me a lot of time. First, because I was not able to play every day to furnish it, and sometimes I just didn't feel like building. So yeah, it took me quite a while, but also because it's very big and there's so many rooms, I didn't know what to do with them. Or, well, I knew, but I was like, okay, I just want to take my time, because otherwise I would be like, okay, I don't want to play the Sims anymore forever. So yeah, I just took my time, and it was worth it, I think, because the end result is very satisfying, I would say. So you will probably be surprised with the interior, which is not very historical. I was imagining that this house would be built by someone nowadays, and it would be refurbished and renovated with current taste. I mean, it has a historical neo-Gothic twist, but it's also modern at the same time, so it's not a very dark haunted mansion. This is a real place to live. It has some modern equipments. It has a modern, for example, kitchen. It has modern bathrooms. It has TV. It has everything you need in modern life, I would say. And I think it's a very comfortable place to live because there's so many windows. It's really light flooded everywhere. I just love the light effect everywhere on the furniture and so on. And also there are many fireplaces, so it's a very warm place to live. And yeah, for me it's definitely a holiday mansion, like the mansion you go during winter for Christmas, just like Queen Elizabeth II when she goes to her palace of Sandringham, which is probably not a palace. I think it's a manor, but I'm not sure. It's Sandringham Manor or Sandringham Palace. Probably palace, actually. Anyway, it's also a very old mansion where she goes for the holidays. And yes, and she also has another mansion, well, a castle, which is Windsor Castle, which is also in a very neo-Gothic style. Or not neo-Gothic, actually, just Gothic, because this castle is one of the oldest castle in the world, which is still inhabited. I think it has more than 1,000 years, but a large part of it was renovated during the 19th century, so it has some neo-Gothic elements, which, by the way, is not always called neo-Gothic sometimes, and I don't really get the difference between neo-Gothic and troubadour. Well, I'm not even sure it's something in English, troubadour. It's a French word, but I guess as it's a architectural style, we also say it in English. Let's say troubadour style. It's very hard to say it in English, just troubadour style. Yeah, it sounds better. I don't remember what I was saying. Yes, this type, troubadour, is actually what I told you. This is how the people in the 19th century envision Middle Age, and actually it's quite far away from what Middle Age was. It's a very fairy tale vision of what it was. But I like it. It's actually, it kind of looks like Disney, I would say, in many ways. And I like it. There is something in Disney architecture that I really like. Yes, I don't even know why I was talking about this, but anyway, yeah, I know. So the house is a very, let's say, elegant, elegant mix of traditional architecture and modern furnishing, or not modern, but not as old as the house itself. So I really tried to use different colors, different patterns, but overall it's very harmonious, I would say. All the bedrooms are more or less decorated in the same style. By the way, there are 6 bedrooms, which are actually very large, so if you ever need to have more Sims in this house, you can easily build up to 10 or 12 bedrooms, I think, because some of them are very big. They have their own living room or sitting area. They all have a fireplace. They're very large bedrooms, but I think it's important in such a big house. If you have a very big mansion but tiny bedrooms, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, my only regrets, and it's not really a regret, is that there's not, well, there's a big garden, but it doesn't feel like you're living outside. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, but actually it's a house. No, no, I don't know what I'm going to say. This is a place where you stay inside. You don't go outside because, as I told you, this is a place mostly for winter. So, yes. There's a big garden, but it's quite empty. There are just flowers, trees. There's not a big swimming pool and big terrace. Well, there is a terrace, but I didn't furnish it because, I don't know, I didn't feel like furnishing it. And it just didn't look great. So I tried actually, but it didn't look great. So I really focused on the interior, and the exterior. It's just a manicured garden, formal garden, I would say. Which is enough for this house, I think. But once again, if you need more outside areas, you can do it easily because the garden is very big. And compared to the lot, the house is not that huge. You still have a lot of room and space all around. So you can easily turn it into a more outside place. Anyway, yes. I think I can tell you a bit more about the interior. Actually, it's very traditional in the way of the rooms are designed and also of the functions of the rooms. There's nothing crazy like a building, inner pool, or even I don't know what can you have crazy in a house. Um, yeah, I think it's just a normal house with a kitchen, living rooms, staircase, sitting areas, just very big. But there's nothing crazy. There's a um, an office, but that's pretty much it. There's the library, of course. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you about the library because I had this big tower and I didn't know what to do with it. First, because it was very hard for me once I did the floor plan to put a staircase that goes to the tower. But I finally found a way to do it. So then I was with this big space and I was like, okay, what can I do with it? Because I already have several sitting areas and living rooms. I have a TV room. I have an office. So I was okay, just build a library, which is cool, I think, for such a big mansion. I didn't feel like building another bedroom because 6 bedroom is enough. And as you know, I don't really like repetitive tasks. So that's why most of the time I enjoy more building the outside as the inside because the inside can get very repetitive, especially with the bedrooms and the bathrooms, which is my absolute nightmare. I just hate doing bathrooms. So yeah, for all these reasons, I decided to build a library, which is a bit quirky, but it's still working. It is a 2-story library with small stairs leading to the upper floor. And I think it's a very nice place to read a book because it's a bit isolated from the rest of the house. And I guess you have a beautiful view from this high tower because it's overlooking the whole lot and the whole region all around, so it's pretty nice. And imagine if it was on the other 64 by 64 lot in Windenburg, the one that is on the island, the one which is surrounded by water and mountains. It must be very good. Maybe I will try it. So, yes. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you a bit more about the upcoming builds. And to be honest, I don't have a precise idea of what the next build will be because, as I was saying on Twitter, I feel like I need more to be connected to my aesthetic and my own taste because sometimes I build houses which I really enjoyed, but the style didn't really match my personality. And I was thinking that it would be probably nice to do something that matches my personality a little bit more, just like the Secret Garden, for example, my previous video, which was a lot of fun, and it was directly connected to my passion for architecture, for Versailles, for history. So I think I will try to, yeah, to be closer to my own personality, even if it's not really easy when you're trying to match your personality to architecture. It doesn't really make sense. It's a bit like conceptual, I don't know, but yeah, in my own mind it's very clear, but it's really hard to explain, I think. And also I will try to do more modern build because I also really like modern architecture and contemporary inner decoration. So I think I will download again all the custom content created by the Peacemaker, because I don't know why I deleted them all, because at one time I was only building with Alexander content, but now I feel like building more modern interiors, and I think Alexander and Peacemaker's custom content can match very well together. And oh yeah, actually I can tell you about the idea I have. I was thinking about building a Parisian street because, as you know, I'm working in Paris, and every day I'm absolutely overwhelmed by the architecture, the buildings, all the styles. Um, I'm working on a very famous street in Paris, um, which was designed during the 19th century, which was so this specific time was called the no, it's not called anything. It's just the style of the house is called Osmanian because the guy who was ruling the city back then under the Second Empire was called Osman, and it completely redesigned the city. It transformed it, and actually, the Paris that you know today is due to this guy because everything, pretty much everything, is from the 19th century. And yes, I really like this style. It has many how twists in the architecture because it mixes several styles. And yeah, I feel like building a Parisian street, and probably I will not furnish all the buildings because this is absolutely enormous. But probably I will do a Osmanian apartment, which are very typical for Paris and very authentic, I would say. And of course, you have to be very rich to have an Osmanian apartment in Paris. But when you have enough money, it's like an achievement because those are absolutely beautiful places, and a lot of people are decorating them with modern furniture. Even if you have very classical ceilings and walls, it really fits with modern design. So this is the idea I have. I'm not sure I will do it soon because it will take me a lot of time, but yeah. I think I have a few minutes left with the furnishing of the house, and it's time for me now to go. I really hope you enjoyed this build. And before I go, I would like to wish you all happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year if we don't see each other until next year. So, yes, enjoy your time with your friends and family, and I will see you next time. Bye.